Hi friends, if you have rheumatoid arthritis or if you know someone with rheumatoid arthritis, this video is for you. But earlier this week, the FDA in the US just approved a new treatment modality for patients with rheumatoid arthritis. And this is really unique. I've never seen anything like this before. It is a vagus nerve stimulation device. So it's not a medication, it's actually a device that gets implanted into your neck to stimulate the vagus nerve. Now, the company that makes this device, Setpoint Medical, they have done a couple studies looking at this. They basically did a preliminary study with 14 patients a couple years ago that showed that the device is helpful and does help treat rheumatoid arthritis. And then they did a subsequent larger study with over 100 patients that showed that the device is well tolerated, usually complications are very rare, and again, that it can also be helpful for patients with rheumatoid arthritis in terms of treatment. Now, I will say that when it comes to vagus nerve stimulation and rheumatoid arthritis, there have been a couple other studies without this device looking at other devices or other modes of stimulating the vagus nerve, one of which showed it was helpful, the other one showed that it was not helpful. So the data is not perfect for vagus nerve stimulation when it comes to rheumatoid arthritis, but in certain patients who either classic treatments like disease modifying drugs or DMARDs either don't work or patients have side effects, this could be a very interesting alternative option. And now I work in Canada, so I did reach out to Setpoint Medical, who makes the device, to ask them if they are planning to try to get approval in Canada. And they said probably eventually, but it's going to be years. So right now this is only available in certain cities in the US, but hopefully later on it will be more widely available, assuming that it shows that it continues to work well. Now, this is also being studied in other autoimmune conditions, for example, inflammatory bowel disease like Crohn's or colitis, as well as psoriatic arthritis and multiple sclerosis. And you might be wondering how a device that's implanted in your neck could somehow help your joints. So let's just talk about how vagus stimulation works. So the vagus nerve, it actually has a lot of functions, but one of its functions is to sense inflammation. And when it senses inflammation, it activates a reflex cholinergic anti-inflammatory pathway, which then sends signals across the celiac plexus to the splenic nerve, which goes to the spleen, and then that decreases the production of certain pro-inflammatory cytokines and molecules in the immune system, things like IL-1, IL-6, TNF, and then this ultimately leads to decreased inflammation. So I think it's pretty cool. But if you found this helpful, of course, please share it. And if you have any questions, please let me know. And if you like this type of information, make sure you like and follow along.